and home of the Chicago Dog. He's listening to me way over there.
Go ahead, give him that address one more time.
Yeah, it's going to be 1296 Del Rio Boulevard here in Eagle Pass, Texas. So make sure you call him up 7 days a week from 11 to 11.
All right. Yeah. Once again, I'm sorry if I had it on mute. Welcome to the Overtime Show here, brought to you by All American Media and Now You Know Sports. Again, all these topics we have so far going on: Spurs win record, Dallas Cowboys playoff hopes, high school football wrapping up, and of course, we'll talk some college football here with our guest, Roger Olivares. Olivas. Oh my God, dude! Somebody needs to slap me across the head because I'm just not going to get it right. I'm going to get it right this time. Right?
We'll get it right.
All right. Well, this podcast is brought to you by Chance and Lee's Pizza. Of course, that's who we're here. We got the address. Come get your Chicago dog, and of course, all of your numerous amounts of flavors at Chance and Lee's. Come on down for dinner, and of course, we got some sports. Also by Baldus Tires. I'm going to put that Baldus Tires and Wrecking Services. Here we go. Here's the ticker down here. 3522 North Pierce Street. Phone number 830-757-3102. Also, we got one of our good sponsors that we're going to have a podcast here soon with Maverick Barber School. Guys, if you want to know the awesome arts of barber school, and of course, we'll give out a little secret. They're going to get into some nail technician. Also, you guys want your kids to, anybody who's 18 or older, or 16 or older, that wants to learn the art of barber shops and, of course, cosmetology, Maverick Barber School is the place to go. Check it out on their Facebook page. And, of course, we'll promote it soon, and we'll give you guys more information on that. All right. So, Freddie, what else we got? So we'll start talking about the first topic. I guess I get to pick. We'll start with the high school wrapping up football season.
We're wrapping up the Texas high school football season. Of course, the Eagle Pass Eagles and the CC Winn Mavericks under the tutelage of two new head coaches. Of course, for Coach Olivas, he's here with us. Coach Ramirez was unable to join us tonight, but he says hello to everybody and thank you for the support over there. District honors, Coach. It's something that every year, every season, we seem to have a high number of kids being honored on first team, second team, honorable mention, and of course, as you mentioned before, we got on the broadcast, we have all state also honors, all academic.
Don't forget our guests of honor, Mr. Paul Bianchi,
and Grant Bibb.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. What's going down?
Good. Thanks for joining us, guys. All right, so we're gonna get in. Thanks for joining the banter as we start along with the high school sports wrapping up. So we'll talk about the honors. So why don't you guys tell us about that with the Eagle Pass and CC Winn?
Well, with Eagle Pass, of course, we do have some guys that were able to get first team all district. Just to kind of name a few, Coach, as far as you is concerned, your seniors played a big role this year in again a team that had a mixture of young guys and of course seniors.
Yes, we only had two returning starters coming back, both on the offensive side. We had zero on defense. Our defense was mainly, I think we had 4 guys who had a little bit of varsity action last year, but most of it came from our JV and our freshman team. And the same thing goes for our offense. We had 2 boys that were varsity starters, and everybody else came from the JV and the freshman team.
Yeah, on offense, of course, we do have Luis Flores, the running back. He's a junior, so he's coming back next year,
yes.
and he was named
first team all
district. So for you to have a ball carrier just like him come back, and for what does that give your team an edge on the offensive side, Coach?
Well, next year we have 9 coming back on offense. We lose 2. We lose 2 really good seniors, and Pepe Hernandez and Gael Lozoya. And defensively, we bring back 6. So it's a good start. We lose all our linebackers, which is not that good. But our secondary, we got 3 out of the 4 back. Our D line, 3 out of the 4 back. So it's a good start. Right now we already started our off season. I wish we would be playing like Coach Beati and they are, and wish them the best of luck. They have a good chance to take it all again, and we want to be in those shoes one day. So like we tell the boys, why not us? We're working right now.
As you mentioned, DeSoto is playing Longview, and that's going to be on the 7th at 3 p.m. at McLean Stadium in Waco. Of course, Harlan is playing Vandergrift, and Harlan is they were in the district with you guys. couple of years ago before the realignment.
Well, we played them last year in
Yeah.
the playoffs.
That's right.
And they were all juniors, so we knew they were going to be really good. We lost them 20-27 in a game that we could have, upset and shocked a lot of people in San Antonio. But no, they have a good ball club. They got a good coaching staff, and they were all juniors last year, so we're not surprised on the run they're making.
Yeah, the run that they made, of course, they beat Harlan 41. They beat, Clark 41-23 in the bi-district round. They beat Dripping Springs 55-24, then 39-36. And of course, now they're in the regional finals. For DeSoto, again, they did their work. They beat Willis last week 55-35. They beat Wiley 51-17, and of course 63-6.
63-6.
Yeah, that was in the bi-district round. Coach Beati, as far as understanding, and we talked before or after that game that you guys lost, I believe, that last time that you were on. I think we spoke to you that Wednesday before that big game that you guys lost. But what's been the mentality coming into the regional final?
Man, we just been keeping our head down and grinding. It's been a nonstop grind. We've been putting in long hours. The kids have been putting in long hours. The kids are now kind of to the point where they're like, they just want to go play somebody because we've been spending so much time in film session, practice, special teams. We've been putting in long days and long hours.
Yeah, Coach, when you get to this, you always want to play after Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
That's
And any coach, in any Texas high school football coach, when you play after Thanksgiving, you're getting into that fourth, fifth round. You're getting into, of course, the rounds that matter. The fourth and fifth round. So,
Yeah.
And of course, congratulations to all the guys that you guys signed to numerous. I know it was signing day. Just a couple of Wednesday was signing day. You had a lot of guys sign letters of intent and stuff like that. So congratulations.
Yep, you got to congratulations from Commissioner Jerry Morales as well. If you can see that posted on there. Thanks for joining us, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Coach, as you mentioned your off season. Now you have an off season with the kids. Of course, you came in late in the thing, Coach. I know it's one of those things where you were here as a defensive coordinator a year ago, but as a head coach, it's a different mindset, right, Coach?
It is, but it's not.
Okay.
Tom always gave us the reins to act like a head coach, do things like a head coach. He taught us well, he groomed us well. Starting with Oki, the Coach Graff, we've always done. I don't want to say the same, but we've always self-evaluated ourselves, our team and our coaching staff, and what we need to do, what we got better. You play teams that are in the playoffs, that went far in the playoffs, and you want to raise your game to that level, to that standard, and that's what we're doing.
Coach, when you mentioned, of course, having those guys back, you have Sebastian Velasquez, a junior, who's coming back. He was a unanimous pick as far as a receiver or slot receiver. You lose, of course, Jose Pepe Hernandez, who's a senior. He was a unanimous pick, but he was unanimous first team for offense and then specialist.
Yeah.
So to have a guy like that, what does it mean, or how do you replace a guy like that?
Well, you have to go back. In the last 3 years, we went back and Pepe scored in 29 out of 31 games. The only person that's probably ever done that here in Eagle Pass is Roger Zurita. Testament to his athletic ability, his work ethic, and his mental preparation for a game. He's a competitor.
As far as your defensive side, Coach, I know you're a defensive-minded guy. Your defense was the mindset, the land shark mindset that you have, and hats to the ball. But having this kid Gael Oyua, who his brother was not too long ago, Roger Oyua, who played linebacker, and you got a defensive tackle, went from his brother was a linebacker to a kid that's in the trenches.
Gael is one of those guys who just works hard, doesn't say much. His actions speak for himself, and he had a really good year. He's a technician, and he made a lot of plays in the backfield. We had a lot of games where we had second, third and long. That's what you want to do as a defense, and a lot of that was because of him.
Coach, talking about Panyao, I know his brother played baseball, but Anthony Panyao, I've seen that kid since he was, playing Pee Wee football, and he's always played defensive end, and he's a small kid, a stature as far as like a typical defensive end, but he's got a motor, as you mentioned.
Well, we talk about having on defense relentless players, and he's one of those guys. He just goes, and he's not the biggest guy out there, but he's got a lot of hustle, and he has a nose for the ball.
And talking about the guys that are coming back, Coach, in junior, as far as safeties is concerned, what do you see from your sophomores and juniors coming back next year?
I think one thing that stands out is they're hard workers, and a lot of these kids are in track. We do have some baseball players, but a lot of these kids are going to be in the off season with us. It's a big plus. A lot of the returners are in off season. I think we're in January right now. We have about 83 in athletics, which are just sophomores and juniors, and the freshmen will come in and we'll be about 136 in January. So, right now, we have a good core of guys. They're working their butts off. They're trying to get better, bigger, stronger, faster. And one of the things that we preach is be more competitive. Challenge yourself every day to be a better version of yourself.
Coach, as far as honorable mention, we have some guys. And can you talk about some of these guys in Ramirez, the fullback? Again, most of these guys are going to be returning for you next year, for the most part. As far as honorable mention, for the most part, I don't have the full list, Coach, but just some of the kids that you had on honorable mention. We'll go through them. Second team defense, you got Velasquez, interior linebacker. Demasi, we know what he does on the baseball field, but how is he on the football field, Coach?
Well, he's a great kid, smart kid, relentless. He just goes hard. Great kid to have around. He loves to practice, and he is one of those players that the way he practices, the way you're going to play, and he just enjoys being around football or being around baseball. He's a competitor. Yeah,
another kid, Caleb Salinas, another linebacker. That again, baseball player now. In the trenches as far as playing football. As far as your line is concerned, Coach, playing against United, Alexander, United South, Medina Valley, a lot of times Del Rio. A lot of times your lines or your offensive line is sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes they're a bit smaller. But technique-wise, they're great.
Well, we don't. For some reason, I don't know what's in the water on this side because CC1 has some real big kids and we just don't. But we're relentless. One of the things that we do is, we try to get our fastest guys and try to fit them into our defense and our offense and go out there, try to stretch the field vertically and horizontally, and defensively we're trying to get 11 guys on the ball.
Yeah.
And our best way, the way we've learned, how we've had success is, playing fast physical football.
And understanding that, like you said, fast physical football. Coach Beati, as you kind of get into these late rounds and you get this atmosphere, Coach, and understanding that the weather into December gets cold and the hits get even harder.
I love it.
Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, you're bringing the wood every week, right?
Every day. We're bringing it every day. As a matter of fact, we're about to play in the 49-degree weather and it's raining. So that's the weather forecast this Saturday.
And I see you got some eagle, some DeSoto eagle there on your chest, Coach.
I do. I used to coach track. This is my track sweater. I had a sweater, a shirt underneath, and a big old heavy jacket when we had practice this afternoon. So
pretty much getting prepared for it, right?
We're getting ready for it. You know what? We played at the Star last Saturday, and I wish we were playing at the Star this Saturday. But we're playing Longview, and they play Pro I. Double tight, and they want to be outside, and you know what we said, whatever you want, let's go.
But okay, so how far is the drive from you guys as far as from Waco? To Waco, excuse me, and play at McLean at Baylor, at where Baylor plays.
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. So for Longview, is it about the same? Is it halfway for Longview?
It's probably longer for Longview.
It's probably longer for them.
Yeah, it's probably about 2 hours, 15 minutes.
What do you see about the matchup between Lake Travis and Westlake, and on the other side, your nemesis in Duncanville, Duncanville and Bridgeland?
I'm taking Westlake, even though they're banged up. I think Lake Travis has gotten healthier. They've gotten better. Lake Travis is banged up right now. Their quarterback is banged up, but they've had their number. I'm taking Westlake, and I'm not until they get to state. I'm not betting against Duncanville.
There you go. Of course, they're the Duncanville and Lake Travis, North Shore, Atascosita, North Crowley, and Allen are all in 6A Division 1. And you guys are in 6A Division 2.
Correct.
Am I right? Yeah, you're in Division 2. So, of course, there's two different divisions. And again, Coach, when UILs, went to that, I mean, what are your thoughts? And we'll go with you, Coach. What are your thoughts with the two divisions, Division 1, Division 2, of course, having multiple, state champions?
I mean, you don't go too far back, and I think Judson won 1 year, and Roosevelt won Division 2, and Judson won Division 1, and they were in the same district.
Yeah.
So I like it. I mean, there's so many great teams in the state of Texas. You just named, some of the best. They're not only the best in the state; they're the best in the nation.
As far as for you, Coach, what do you take on that? As far as the two divisions.
Well, I'll give you this. Last year we won Division 2. Duncanville won Division 1. We're in the same district. We beat Duncanville last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great talent. It gives more kids an opportunity to experience the playoffs, to make runs, and many times Division 1 and Division 2, there's not a lot of difference.
No, there isn't. It's just it's just the enrollment in of course your high schools, right?
Well, and who makes a play?
Okay.
Oh, Coach Oliva, I got a question for you. Oh, and I'll get to you. I'm sorry, Paul. Regarding these kids and the difference in districts, do you think that they kind of get not intimidated, but that they ever get that in their mindset that, oh, you know what, we're going against it. This is something that we haven't really done before, and
our mindset is to play the best teams in the region, and if you want to eventually beat them, which we want to, is we got to play them. If you look at our preseason, we even our scrimmage, we went against Northside San Antonio Marshall.
Yeah.
We played New Braunfels Canyon. We played San Antonio Taft. So our mindset is that when they put on the shoes the same way you do. You go out there and you play the best, and you give it your best.
Coach Biotti, you want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example. South Oak Cliff. They won back-to-back state titles. They lost last year to P&G. But if you look at their preseason schedule, North Shore, Duncanville, they played us, North Crowley. They played the big dogs at the big division, and they're 5A Division 2. What they're doing is getting ready for the playoffs because they know that they're in a weak district and they're going to run right through it. So what they're doing is they're getting their kids' mindset ready. So when they hit the playoffs, they're ready to go.
I want to go ahead and change topic. We're going to stay on the same topic, but I also want to let's switch up teams a little bit. I want to talk about CC Winn.
Yes.
Now everyone says that CC Winn is kind of like the backup for Eagle Pass High School. I think differently, and then they're a very young team, and I know that they got a long way to go. What would you guys, Freddie? What would you guys say in that aspect, that what they need to do to improve, and then of course maybe possibly be a championship team?
Well, I mean, it goes back to what we talked about in one of the podcasts that we talked about, as far as having two high schools is giving more kids the opportunity to give themselves, a chance to show what they have. And Humberto Munoz Jr., who is a first team all district defensive end, he's a junior. So you got to understand, some of these kids, Jonathan Saldeaña, he's a senior receiver, but he went both ways. You got a lot of kids that go both ways over on that side. Esteban Rodriguez, first team all district center. I mean, you got kids that can compete with the best of the best. It's the fact of the matter that it's just like anything. You plug in a coach, and yes, he's been there. He's been in their program, but the kids have a. I mean, you got to understand some of the kids when they come when a new coach comes in or when the coach takes over, you got to get adaptive to that. And you know,
I think what you forget is, you know, Renette takes over the head job, and now he has different coordinators under him.
Yeah.
You know, even though Royce is still there, but that's everybody has a new role.
yeah, exactly. And that's something that everybody has to kind of. Now that kid that you're showing right now in Juan Cruz, he beat out a kid that had the starting job a year ago, and this guy's only a sophomore.
Wow.
In Junior Cruz, he's a fast, quick kid. Another kid, running back Axel Picasso, who's a second team All District. And as I mentioned, Coach, you got big kids. Miguel Mancha, who's a junior.
Yeah,
He's a big old lineman.
Yeah.
Again, to run behind these guys, and Luis Leos, the safety, his brother was the running back.
Oh yeah.
So again, these kids that are first team, second team, it's not that they don't have the heart. It's just, again, for some of these kids that went from freshman football to varsity football, and
JV
both of these,
football.
and not play JV. Both of these coaches can attest the varsity speed is 10 times faster.
Oh, of course, absolutely. I mean, it's
Yes
like when
or
you go
no?
to college. When you go to college from the NFL, you know, it's totally changed. It's a totally new gear.
And that's what it
Yeah.
is. You move up. Everybody says, "Why don't you have more freshmen on varsity?" We had a really good freshman team. I said it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big
The
difference.
speed of the game from junior high to freshman, from freshman to JV to varsity, and then you play the teams like DeSoto and them, and it's another level right there. You know,
Yeah.
it's like playing college teams.
Yeah, right.
Coach, as I know we got Grant, Bib Grant. What's your take, man, on all the Texas high school football that's coming up, and of course the regional finals?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Which we can see you though.
Nah, man, I'm pretty messed up. I want to ask Paul, man, because he in the playoffs they put up 350 burgers. So I don't know if they all year long they be putting up 50 burgers. I mean, how have you guys been putting up 50 pretty much every game, Paul? Even in district and non-district?
I think the only team that held us was Duncanville. You know, oh man, I think it was 35-21.
Yeah, it was a close game.
It was a close game. We had an opportunity to win. We were driving. We had the ball at the 4-yard line, and they snapped it over the quarterback's head.
Oh,
You know, we the thing with us is we have dual threats. We can adapt to whatever you want to play. If you want to load the box and you want to leave our receivers on one-on-one, we can burn you deep. If you want to line in the box and double team our D1 receiver, then we got Tiger Riding, who just committed to A&M. We have Myson Cook, who is 6'2" and runs a 4.3 40. And we got Terod Baker, you know, who can also run the ball. So it's like pick your poison. And that's what I'm surrounded by. You know, people say, well, you got all these athletes. Yeah, but Duncanville does too. You know, North Crowdy does too. We played North Crowdy in a non-district game, and they're ranked in the number 2 in the state, number 4 in the nation. I mean, the competition level is on a different level.
Yeah.
And I think right now the DFW is on a different level completely.
I think the difference is when you have so many athletes that you do, dude. It's like I'm gonna give an example based on what you said. It's like you got Tyreek Hill, Henry from Baltimore, and then you have Puka Nakua, and then you have one of the best tight ends in the game, and Deshaun Jackson is good. You have too many weapons, and what you got to do to keep winning and scoring those points is finding a way to get your athletes the ball. And
correct.
And that's a good problem to have. That's a good problem to have. Say, okay, well, who's going to get us this way? When you look at 50 points, you guys are scoring almost 2 touchdowns a quarter. When you look at it.
Now, our biggest thing is, and our biggest fight was, you have to be unselfish because everybody, all the receivers want the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, against Wiley East, Tiger Ryden ran for 299 yards. He was short 300 by 1 yard. And we pulled them out early in the fourth. Booby, Dalen Singleton, Both of them are top receivers that want the ball all the time. So our biggest hurdle was like, hey, do you want to be selfish and want the stats, or do we want to go after a third ring?
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Everyone's committed to that because you've got all those bubble screens and all that, but they got a block. There ain't no way that he didn't mail those yards without receivers blocking downfield and
Correct,
getting big
correct.
gashes. You might have
And I
run up
think
to the 3-4 hole or out to the zone reads, but I guarantee there was some big. If you look at the film, I didn't see it. There's some big runs on the line where the receivers are blocking, and some guys get a kick out of blocking, some don't because they want to score. Their receivers, man, Michael Irvin, he just wanted to score. He didn't give a shit, but he'd high five Emmett all the time because
Yeah.
they were about championship.
Yeah.
and I
With all
think
the
that's
skill-
where we've changed right now from the regular season or from the non-district to the regular to the playoffs. I think right now, like Freddie said earlier, our goal was to make it to Thanksgiving because you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Now we're past Thanksgiving and we can see AT&T. So the goal is let's get to AT&T.
Hey,
Okay, well, now that we got all that, we have so much skill. I'm so sorry, babe. Go ahead.
No, I'm talking about, I went to watch the Cowboys and walked the facility. I went to the Star. That is a very nice place. We were actually up there with the players and all that. I was in a couple of Super Bowl champions with a friend of mine, but I freaked out when I saw the stadium. I was like, "Holy smokes, dude!" At the Ford Field, it was incredible. But it'd be nice to play there because that's the turf, and it's nice. It's nice and cold. It's nice 70-degree weather. So, good luck to you this weekend, man. I know you guys will do well. And just keep putting up the 50 burgers. You'll be fine. It's hard to score 50. It's hard to score 50, but you score 50, they got to score 51. That's tough.
Yeah.
No, well, with all that skill and talking about playoffs, I wanted to ask everybody what your opinion is on the regional finals picture. How do you guys feel about all that? Freddie, we'll start with you.
Well, again, I mean, we have Geyer against South Lake Carroll. I think South Lake Carroll will take care of that one. We got Summer Creek against Kingswood. I have not seen too much of that, but I guess I'll go with Kingswood. And this is just again in Division 1. Oh no, Division 2. Excuse me. Of course, I'm picking DeSoto over Longview, not because of you, Coach, but because I know what you have. I've kind of done my homework and stuff like that. And then I'm gonna go Hardin over Vandergrift, and that's in Division. That's in Division 1. Excuse me, Division 2. Over in Division 1. Over in Division 1, of course. I mean, you're talking about North Crowley against Allen. I'm
Very
taking
good Allen defense.
Yeah, I'm going Allen. I'm going North Shore against Atascocita. Okay, so and then I'm going Duncanville over Bridgeland, and I am going with Coach as far as Westlake over Lake Travis. Just because I've seen Westlake, I've seen both teams during my time between 2016 and 2020. I got to see some of these teams when they were playing. I know they played down in the valley 1 year. Westlake it was Westlake who played. You guys played them that year.
Donna?
No, not Donna. That other team. Vela. Yeah, Edinburgh Vela, and they got Westlake just smoked them. Yeah. I mean, it was at halftime. It was 50-0 at halftime.
That year, their defense was.
Yeah.
Don't they have like a humiliation rule?
No, they don't. They don't have a.
Or is that just baseball?
Yeah, it's just baseball.
They should have one for football, man. That's just. I mean, I know we want to, push on and try to do some damage control when it comes to coaching and stuff, but 50-0.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I mean, every possession was a score, Coach. And talking about, like Coach mentioned, after Thanksgiving, you guys had a back in 2016, 17, somewhere on there.
Yeah.
David Cuperos, that group of guys.
They went back to back.
And were able to play Thanksgiving. It was the third round, I believe.
At Thanksgiving, we played on that Friday.
Yeah. So again, you have been there. It's just again, it's getting collectively, like Coach mentioned, about the team effort and understanding that it's going to be a team goal instead of individual stats.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my take right now, Coach. What do you got between Lake Travis and Westlake?
I mean, we have a coach, RJ Gomez.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Travis from Eagle Pass.
Yeah.
We met a lot of the Westlake coaches. They come to Oki's clinic. Real classy guys. Really really humble, hardworking coaches that want to share their knowledge with us. You know, I just think it's hard to go against Westlake as much as I want to go with RJ. You know,
Yeah. Duncanville and Bridgeland.
Duncan.
Duncanville. Of course, the North Shore and Atascocita, they play on the 7th, and they play at Tom Stadium.
Yeah, North Shore.
Or Thorn Stadium, yeah. North Shore, and then Allen and North Crowley.
Well, I'm going to Hector Gloria is from Eagle Pass. He coaches with North Crowley.
With North Crowley?
So I'm going to go with Hector.
There you go.
One, yeah.
So, again, these games, when they get into the regional finals, Coach, it's the best of the best. It's these, and this is just talking 6A. We haven't even touched 5A, 4A, 3A. You know, you got all these divisions. We don't have enough to go through everything, but we're based with 6A because, of course, both coaches have 6A schools or in 6A schools. If we go 5A, of course, Bernie, Corpus Christi Miller. I know Denton Ryan and Alito, Denton Geyer, South Lake Carroll. I think that's the other one. DeSoto Longview at 2:30. Harlan and Vandergrift, South Oak Cliff and Port Nueces Groves. That's at 6:30. That's on Friday. So I mean, you got great games this weekend. Friday and Saturday.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So,
Paul, do you have your picks for the regional final?
I'm taking. We played Vandergrift. Drew Sanders is going to formation you to death. I'm taking Vandergrift.
I would take him.
I'm taking Westlake.
Coach Olivas is taking.
I'm taking Vandergrift. I'm taking Westlake. North Shore has beat Atascocita 8 times. They beat them this year already once. It was a close game, but Atascocita ran out of gas. I'm taking North Shore. I am taking North Crowley over Allen. Allen's defense has been really, really good, but North Crowley's explosive. I mean, they are explosive. Yeah. I'm taking obviously DeSoto over Longview. One of the games that's really intriguing is Geyer and Southlake. Southlake lost their 2 D1 running backs, both tore their ACL. Wow. Their backup running back, I believe, was a sophomore. Aaron Glenn's son. He's only a sophomore, and the quarterback is banged up. They got one receiver in Boyd. And right now, Geyer is rushing for about 300 a game. But like we talked about earlier, it's protect the tradition, the Dodge family, Riley. I'm going to go with the Dragons, but I think that's going to be a good game to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go against Coach Todd at South Oak Cliff, Sock, over Port Neches Grove, but that's going to be another really good game. I think Sock wants their get back from last year. Mm-hmm. I can't go against Alito because Alito beat Ryan already once this year, even though Ryan was beating them. So,
week 1, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's some great games. Did I miss any picks?
Bernie and Corpus Christi Miller.
We played Miller earlier in the year. They got 2 really, really good receivers. The quarterback's pretty good. I'm going with Corpus Christi Miller. I think they played us to get ahead to kind of get ready for the playoffs. Yeah.
Grant, I know you're a big guy, but I as far as like picking stuff, but I'm gonna hold off on the picks with you because we're gonna get to, of course, the college football stuff and the NFL stuff. But I know you have a lot to say about high school, but I know that we gotta go with what we got coming up, and we got another topic that we got to jump into.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that we leave the high school for now, and of course, good luck to the kids out there, and we're looking forward to see them next year play, and who knows what we can get more out of the upcoming stars of high school football here in Eagle Pass. Definitely want to we're going to jump into the Spurs. All right, so we got the Spurs going on. It's been very surprising, having them play without Victor Wembanyama. They're actually playing against Chicago right now. So the San Antonio Spurs lost to the Phoenix Suns on Tuesday night, 104-93, with Victor Wembanyama scored only 15 points on insufficient shooting after going scoreless in the first half. I mean, you got to kind of wonder if if San Antonio is going to be worried about their playoff dreams, or what Greg Popovich is actually thinking right now. Freddie, what do you got for us on that?
I think with Pop being again, he's recovering from the heart attack that he had, or stroke that he had earlier, but his staff and they're mimicking what they've done with everybody, with Robinson, with Manu, with Duncan, with everybody. Where if they play it back to back, they usually hold them off, let them rest, and it's been like that. But the insurgence of the general and bringing in Chris Paul, CP3, has done tremendous for the young squad in Castle, Wembanyama, and Vassell. Like those guys have all are able to be themselves and score from what I've seen. And they of course have 11 games. I think they only won last year. I think they only won. I'm not quite sure, but I can go back and check it. I know they didn't win that many games last year as far as the Spurs, but coming in and having them 11 and 8 or 11-9 right now. They're 2 games above 500, and right now I think they're losing. There's about 11 minutes left. They're 110-99 against the Bulls in San Antonio. Want to also send a shout out to besttickets.com, and make sure you put the promo code overtime24 to get your discount on.
That's right. Yeah, besttickets.com is the place to go when you want to get your awesome sports venues or concerts. Of course, we got an awesome promo code. It's the promo code. What was it again? Overtime 24. Go to besttickets.com now. Put that promo code in. Get you guys discounts on the tickets that you want to get, and catch, well, hopefully a stronger Victor Wembanyama coming in for San Antonio.
Coach, what are your thoughts as far as I know you watch, basketball, here and there, but again, a guy coming in the second year, Castle being a rookie, but being able to now they're only down 9, 110, 101. But what do you think about
Castle? I think Castle's up and coming. I mean, right when they drafted him, they were real high on him, and he's lived up to every part of what they expected from him. I think that's one of the reasons they brought in Paul to guide him and to show him the ropes.
It's a pretty good mix. I mean, it's a seasoned vet like CP3. Or is it CP? Or is he still 3 now? He's still in the 3, right?
CP3, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's a good mix, especially with the upcoming rising star like Victor Wembanyama and a legendary coach like Greg Popovich. You know what? I don't see them as that old dynasty like we had with Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Bruce Bowen, Tony Parker. Each of them all scoring the same amount of points. Especially when it was a big man's game back in those days, like in the 90s, like against Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Garnett, of course Tim Duncan, and then you throw in guys like in the mix like Vlade Divac, like back in those days. Like now it doesn't seem like a big man's game anymore. But you have Victor Wembanyama, obviously taller than half the court. So I mean, it's very interesting to see if they do still have a playoff play.
Paul and Grant, as far as the NBA season, of course, it's gone to a perimeter game. It's not what it used to be, where it was, inside out. Now it's outside in.
Absolutely.
And it's not half court offense. It's kind of doing everything and pressing and transition wise. Yes or no?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a formulation of AAU and high school. You see it at the high school level. Defense has gone out the window in many programs, and it's about perimeter shooters. It's about how fast we can get up and down the court and score. It's an offensive game. I see it every day, and that's why I like when the basketball players spend the summer with us to build a little toughness in them in the weight room and outside, because I think a lot of the kids aren't tough anymore.
Yeah.
When you look at the game today, back in the day when the Spurs and the Lakers and Kobe and Shaq, I mean, if you scored 200, 205 points, that was a lot. Now, if you look at the stats, every game is 210, 220, 230. There is no defense. The moment you get off the bus, they're jacking 3. It's just a different game. I don't really.
It is.
I mean, you even look at the The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. I mean, how he talks about the Pistons, how brutally physical they were, and nobody was calling anything.
Games were 85, 82. I mean, that was defense. There was clothesline. It was like watching wrestling, man. It was a different
elbows flying and everything.
And here, everyone's jacking threes. It's just look, like right now. If I look at the scores right now, let me see what the score. Look, just to give you like, I really don't watch basketball to the playoffs, and I hate watching.
Yeah, well, right now the Suns and Pelicans 101, 108. I mean, that's
109, 109, 103, and there's 6 minutes to go in the fourth.
Yeah,
quarter.
Exactly. The Knicks and Hornets 125, 101.
Yeah. The Nuggets and Cavaliers, did that win? 126, 101, 125, 101. That's not basketball. They're just jacking threes. That's okay. It's just a different game, and I don't really like it. It's not. I mean, I like basketball. I like pick and rolls. I like defense. I like seeing guys getting when they're going lane and they get knocked out because there's no layups. I mean, that's basketball. That's what I grew up watching. But it's a different game, and those that love 3-pointers, that's why the All-Star game is fun because everyone's. I like the All-Star game because everyone's jacking threes from everywhere, from half court. As soon as they dribble, they're just jacking threes.
Well, and getting back to these guys, Spurs went 22-60 last year, and they're halfway to their total number of games won this year.
So much for tanking again.
I mean, yeah,
yeah. No, we got it. We got the first round draft pick. There's no reason to tank.
If they can somehow tank it and get another top pick, then maybe like now they have like a big three, you know?
Yeah, or we can get another dynasty in.
Yeah, they're 11-10 right now as of tonight's game.
The great vets. So is Harrison Barnes. So they got a couple of older players that are there to teach these young guys, you know, hey, don't go out and all the stuff that comes with being a pro. So they're there to teach them. But I think the Spurs, they're going to be like, right now they're in the 10th position. They're going to be there pretty much all along 10 nights and maybe get the play-in game, which is not good with first one.
Well, I mean, you have about a month, guys, as far as the Spurs before they get into that rodeo road trip. You know, again, for the Spurs, it's always been in the past 10, 15 years, whatever happens during the rodeo road trip, it's kind of dictated of what they've done in the past as far as their runs. And I'll start with you, Paul.
Well, man, I mean, I believe so. I think so. I was there when they won their first title.
Back in 99?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back at the Alamo Dome?
Yeah, the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
Back when Sean Elliott Memorial Day Miracle when he told the line.
They told the line. Yeah, I remember that.
Really?
I remember when we used to go to the convention center to see the Spurs before they built the Alamo Dome. Okay?
Wow. Convention center.
The hemisphere.
Yes.
Yeah. The hemisphere.
I get criticized because I wear Spurs gear. Like, you know, I'm around a bunch of Dallas Mavericks and Lakers and all this. And I said, man, you know what? We haven't won one in a long time, but I was there when we won the first one. And I was there when they passed the torch to Robinson. I was there when we passed the torch to Timmy. I mean, I was there for Avery. I mean, I was there for all that.
Yeah.
So I'm Spurs all the way. No matter, you know, what they do. I'm disappointed. I wish they would win more. But I think the game has changed a little bit. I'm not saying Pop needs to go, but the game has changed, and I think we just need some new blood with this young team.
Yeah, I think so too. Pop, again, he's a tremendous. I mean, he was a front. He was actually a front office guy at the beginning before he got the job, the coaching job.
And there was controversy about that.
Yeah, you know what? It's good it's good. You know, back in the day when you would get your older seasonal vets wanting to join the team, like Robert Horry, and and now we have CP3. I mean, if we got a couple of more vets in there to kind of teach these young guys
how to be professionals
and play the game, we could have a solid team. So
yeah,
that's my take on that one.
No, I'm with you.
All right, so we're going to switch gears here to NFL. So we have the Dallas Cowboys. It's always a good topic to talk about. So are the Dallas Cowboys still alive in the playoffs? I mean, they just won the Thanksgiving game against New York. Go figure. A lot of people are saying they're not very satisfied with that win. We got Dak Prescott backing up, for his coach, Mike McCarthy. There's so many factors going on with the Dallas Cowboys franchise, whether it's blaming Jerry Jones, whether it's Mike McCarthy, whether it's their defensive coordinator, whether it's the contact with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. I want to get all you guys' take on that and what could be the biggest factor why they may not go to the playoffs and what can they do to actually save their playoffs. And if they do all of that, what's going to be the solution to have a better season next year after for years we've been saying it's our year. You know what I mean?
Coach, we'll give it to you. We'll give the floor to you, Coach.
Well, we talk about being fast physical football, and I think you got to be able to run the ball. And I don't see that consistently from the Cowboys. I know they're going through a lot of injuries on their offensive line, and then on the other side, you got to stop the run.
Yeah,
especially in the NFL, and you look at all these teams that are having a lot of success. They're able to run the ball and they're able to stop the run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play action and all that stuff. Of course, right now we're watching Thursday Night Football, Lions and Green Bay, a great North Division. And as you mentioned, Coach Beate, your take on the Cowboys and being up in Dallas. What do you? You got the source up there, man.
I mean, I think they need to let Dak be Dak. He's not a pocket quarterback. He's better he's better when he uses his feet. It's hard in the NFL to run a quarterback, but let him move around in the pocket, move him around, let him use his feet, pass run options. Jerry Jones needs to stay out of football relations and just run, take care of the team, but don't do no drafting, don't have no input on anything. Jerry gotta move to the side if we want to win. And like Roger said, man, in the NFL, you got to be able to run the ball, control the clock, and you got to be able to stop the run. If you can't stop the run and you're going to let teams eat up the clock, it's really, really hard. I look at Detroit, and to me, I don't like Detroit. I think Detroit's not very exciting, but they're winning.
People might say otherwise. Not me.
And you look at Kansas City, though, and I think they're a fun team to win, but they're winning. But they let that team be that. They let those players be those players.
Are you talking about Kansas City?
Yes.
Oh, don't even get me started with Kansas City. There's been some suspect stuff going on with their game. And I'm not going to even go there.
But they got a good defense.
No, they do have a good defense. But again, when it happened in the era of New England, the tuck rule. There were so many rules that were made up throughout the years, and I know Grant has got he's aching to say something about this because I know it happened with Deflategate, it happened with all this stuff, and now we got another dynasty in Kansas City, and what are they doing? And what are we watching? Again, plot twist. I'm just saying, is it a script? Is it not scripted? It's just so disheartening when you're watching the game.
You watch they get every ball. They get every ball at the end of the game. Holding, they look at it. It's the most disgusting thing. That's why I don't bet on Kansas City because they always find a way to win. Come on, dude. You tell them by a point. They barely beat the Raiders. I mean, the guy bumped the ball, but I mean, if you go back and look, the last week of the game, they get every single call. But what's the name? There was a game in week 4, week 5. He threw the ball 30 yards over the receiver, and they called pass interference, and they went down.
Again, with head coach Olivas here, and of course assistant coach Beate, football is a game where if a ref gets in the game, it changes the complexity of how you do things. Yes or no, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, we played in so many games, and they call it pass interference, and then they do it on the opposite side, the worst, and they don't call it. I go, oh, that was worse than the other one, But I always tell the refs, if we don't hear from you, it's a good day.
It's a good day, yeah.
We got more refs on the field. They throw more flags.
Paul, I mean, have you had any instances? Well, I don't know if you have any instances this year when you blow out you guys, when you blow out team 50 to something, but I mean,
I'll tell you what, the referees, picking the referee, especially during the playoffs, is to me the most important thing you can do.
Yes.
It takes us about 4 hours. We go in the office and we look about 10, 15 cards, and we go back and say that they ref this teams before. Where are they from? What ties do they have? We do our due diligence, and we pick what we think is the best referees to do our game. We know how we play. We play fast, so we don't need a 70-year-old man spotting the ball. We need referees that are going to let us play, because we're physical up front and we hold. We hold, but it's not a holding if they don't throw a flag.
Well, you hold in the eye as far as understanding technique, coach. Because again, when you have technique, and a lot of times you show them, hey, you know what?
I'm a defensive coach at heart, and I haven't seen a holding call in a long time.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of being a defensive guy, Coach, I mean, how big was that when Dan Quinn left the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, was that a move that you would have made, or especially when you have one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL, possibly in the NFL?
Oh, I like Dan Quinn. I mean, but at the same time, they rushed for a whole lot of yards against us.
Yeah,
and I didn't sit very well, And I think, we never got big up front.
Yeah,
and I don't know what Jerry Jones had to do there or not, but I kept waiting for him to make a deadline trade where they were going to bring a bigger body in the inside, and they never did. And as though they were playing well, but they're always skeptical about them stopping the run.
Grant, before we end this topic, your final thoughts with Dallas. Is he still with us?
he should be with us. All I know is right now, of course, in the East, as far as the AFC, the Bills. I see the Bills beating Kansas City.
Oh, they're on fire
in the playoffs.
They're on fire right now.
Yeah, they're physical. They're fast. The Chargers and the Broncos are fighting right now for a playoff spot. Yeah. I think they're those are Bo Nix. Bo Nix has surprised me this year.
I went last year to the Pac-12 championship in Las Vegas, and I saw Washington versus Oregon. I was really impressed with both quarterbacks.
The Steelers,
Penix and
Nix and Penix and Nix. Yeah. What do you think Penix will do in Atlanta? Do you think Michael will have his shot and they'll tell Kirk Cousins, hey, you know what, step aside?
I mean, if they don't win more games, they're going to have to do that. Penix is good.
Yeah. Of course, in the North, you got the Steelers, and of course, Mike Tomlin again. Secures a winning season, 9-3 right now, 8-5 for the Ravens. The Texans are 8-5. They're leading the division in the South. That one again is going to come down to the last couple of games of the season. Yeah. I think the Texans do have a couple of games, or has a game with the Colts again later this season. Over in the NFC, of course. You got the Eagles leading the East. You got Washington in the wild card, lead, or 8-5. The Seahawks, the West is the one that's going to be, again, at the end of the season. You got 7-5 Seahawks, 6-6 Cardinals, and 6-6 LA, the Rams. I don't see 49ers after what happened to McCaffrey. I don't think they have the team to even come back.
And I still think that one's still wide open.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Now, the Lions, Vikings, and Packers in the North.
11-1,
10-2, and 9-3. depending on what happens tonight with the Lions and the Packers can get a win. Can get, I think, 1 or 2 games behind because they're 9-3. And then we go to the South. Nobody wants to win the South. You got the Falcons at 6-6, and you got the Buccaneers at 6-6. So I know we're talking about the Cowboys, but we're going to switch to playoffs in the NFL because we got this whole section of who's coming out from where, and what do you guys think is the front runner in the AFC and the front runner in the NFC? We'll go with you, Coach.
I like Detroit. Like I think Yati talked about this earlier. They're not fancy. But they got 2 really good running backs. They're physical, and I like
Montgomery.
And they're good. I mean, they got a lot of weapons on offense. Their defense does enough. Coach Glenn does a really good job there. I think they're the most talented group right now.
What about the AFC?
I just think it's hard to go against Kansas City, but I think Buffalo and the Ravens are pretty good.
Beati, what's your take? Who's going to take it in the NFC and who's going to take it in the AFC?
I mean, I think Buffalo's playing the best football right now overall. I would like the Ravens to win because their DC is a DeSoto native, played for us, Zach Orr.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, man, I mean, KC just finds a way to win. I mean, I don't know if they're greasing. I don't know if they're greasing anybody's wheels or if it's scripted or what, but they find a way to win.
They need to change the 12th man from A&M to freaking
to the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs. What's that thing? Arrowhead Stadium.
Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Dang it, dude. Really. Oh.
Well, now
you're gonna see it. Watch. You're gonna see the rest of them a game. You'll be like, Grant was right again. I promise you, you're gonna see some one flag throw it or one that he didn't throw for them. Watch. Guaranteed it's coming. Guaranteed.
That's why we keep seeing those AI memes with the trading of the shirts and the jerseys, and it's just it's not going to leave Kansas City alone, especially like when you were with Tom Brady and the Patriots,
the
Patriots, and stuff like that. But
Paul's absolutely right. The best team right now playing right now is Buffalo. They beat Kansas City and they just steamroll the Niners like wasn't even close. I mean they're playing defense. That's another coach. That coach. He'll give up 15, 17, maybe 20, but that's it. They'll go down the field, but then they get in there and they get field goals. So they have a great red zone defense, and that's why they win a lot of games. They give up a lot of field goals and not touchdowns. And when you give it to Josh Allen, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the game. He ripped some throws that were like, man, like jaw dropping. Like forget the snow in the pool. He made 2 throws.
Yeah, that's always a big factor, especially when you have teams that are not used to the cold and snow.
You shouldn't be able to do what he did. He ripped through. I mean, like, how does he do that? And they talk about his arm, but man, the 2 touchdowns he threw were just crazy.
Yeah. So again, guys, we'll hit the Hyundai of Del Rio pick 6 because I know that we have that still to come. But
with NFL or with
both, with college and the pros. Because I know that we haven't had a show because we had, of course, the Thanksgiving break and all that good stuff, and had to be with family members and whatnot. Again, happy holidays to everybody, but we'll be back next weekend also. Well, next week, every week, you'll see us either on site at one of our great sponsors, advertisers. As far as right now, we're at Chance and Lee's Pizzeria, 1296 Del Rio Boulevard, 7656, the home of the Chicago Dog. Open 7 days a week from 11 to 11. I know Poncho's not here, Nevares, because he's taking care of some stuff over with the Venados. But every time we come, he's like, where is the Chicago Dog?
And then the show would last another hour.
Yeah, I know, right?
That man can banter, and I love it. He can talk about sports all day long, but hopefully we can get Poncho here next week.
Yeah, the last time we had the Hyundai of the Real Pick 6, we had Utah, Colorado. I believe Colorado beat Utah that week, if I'm not mistaken. Texas beat Arkansas that week. Oregon beat Wisconsin that week. The Commanders, I think, lost to the Eagles on Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken, on that week that we were here. The Ravens and Steelers, I think the Steelers took that one. that, and I think the Chiefs and Bills, of course, the Bills. I think everybody went with the Bills that week.
Yeah. I did too. I think we all went Bills.
Yeah, we all went Bills. So for this week, the 3 games that we're gonna pick for NFL in the Hyundai of Del Rio Pick 6, we're going Browns and Steelers. The Browns had, oh man, what a game from their quarterback James Winston.
Yeah,
in a losing effort. I mean, that was a game. So Steelers and Browns, Coach. What do you got, Coach?
I'll go with Steelers.
Steelers. Beate, Paul, what do you got? Steelers or Browns?
Steelers.
Steelers. I don't have my pin here. I thought I had my pin. I don't have it. Grant, Steelers, Browns.
That's an easy one because Jameis Winston plays for both teams. He likes to throw. I'm thinking the Steelers, dude. That guy's built for pick 6 last week. He had 500 yards and 2 pick 6s, man. I mean, all the time. It's crazy. So, yeah, I'm taking the Steelers easily. They're already up 6-0 with his first pick 6 already.
We'll go Seahawks and Cardinals.
Wait,
Ooh,
did we?
What?
Oh, so out of it was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So we got Coach. I know you forgot your pen, so I was going to take it down.
Yeah, okay. So you got Coach went with
We all went with the Steelers.
Steelers.
Coach went with the
I think
Steelers.
everybody went with Steelers.
Oh, everyone went the Steelers. Okay, so that's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
All right.
everybody went with the Steelers. And we got Cardinals, Seahawks. Coach, what do you got?
I'll take the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Beati?
I'm going with the 2 DeSoto alumni and the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Which is
Seahawks.
already called for? Which is
Byron
already
Murphy and Chenault.
Chenault? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
and Murphy.
Chenault, did he play at Colorado? Didn't he go to Colorado? Chenault?
Yeah, he played at Colorado. Yep.
Yes, that's right.
And Murph played at UT.
At UT. Dude, this is a tough game. Let me tell you something. Even if you were to bet it, you know what I mean? This game is it's who's gonna get off the canvas. Seattle had no business beating the Jets. They got lucky to go East Coast and win the game. And I had money on the Carolina. I mean Arizona. They lost it in the last minute of the game. Horrible, but I really think that let me tell you, this coach that got to Arizona, he's really good. Goddard, I don't know his name. He's Wario. He's really turned that program around. I mean, they were horrible last year. And Kyler Murray, he's feeling better. So I'm gonna take the home. I'm gonna be with Roger, take the home team, even though it's gonna be a tight game. Both teams got to get off the bat from last.
Picking Seattle, right? Was that Seattle?
Oh, I got the Cardinals.
Oh, he's taking Arizona. Oh,
Taking Arizona at home.
sorry, I'm not trying to sabotage your picks, Grant. I promise.
No. 28-24.
No,
Okay.
I'm taking the Cardinals and I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah, you forgot to pick on the last one, Freddie.
I know.
You forgot me too.
Steelers.
So I was
sorry, Steelers.
I'm actually going to go with Cleveland. You know, I like to go with the underdogs.
You're gonna go with Browns, okay?
Yeah, I mean, TJ Watt's a beast, but he's going to definitely harass the quarterback back there in the backfield. So, but I mean, you'll never know.
You remind me of Vince. Hey, I'm gonna play that Vince McMahon song. No chance.
No chance.
Hey, well, this game, I don't know whether to go Chargers and Chiefs because the Chargers, that's Sunday night football, and Bengals and Cowboys Monday night. You know what? I'm going Bengals Cowboys on Monday night.
Bengals Cowboys.
Monday night. What do you got, Coach?
Golly, man.
Are you gonna pick with your heart, or are you gonna pick with?
Oh, pick the Bengals.
You're gonna pick the Bengals. You got Cowboys at 5-7. You got the Bengals at 4-8. So, Coach picks the Bengals. I'm picking the Cowboys.
I think here comes the no chance in hell thing. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Bengals. I'm not going with Dallas. I'm sorry.
Paul, what do you got, Paul?
Man, y'all are tough. Golly, give me
I know, man.
I'm gonna have to rep. I'm in DFW, so I'm gonna take the boys, even though they broke my heart every other week.
Grant, what do you got, Grant?
Man, the Bengals are favored on the road, so I'm gonna take the Bengals.
The Bengals. Wow. There you go.
Bengals. That's it. That's all the picks for NFL.
Well, yeah, the 3 picks because it's a Hyundai of Del Rio pick 6. So we
Okay.
got 3 NFL.
Got
And
three NFL.
now we switch topics and we switch to
College football.
college
All right.
football.
So we're going to actually look at how the college football picture is looking as we wrap up, and then of course we'll do the pick six for that one as well.
Yeah.
You know what? Everyone's been ranting and raving about the Texas and the A&M game. I mean, what was you guys' predictions for that? I mean, two very good teams, especially in the leagues.
I'm not ranting and raving about that game. We knew Texas was going to roll into their stepchild and do damage on the 12th man in Kyle Field. I knew that was going to happen. Sarkisian had a plan. After he lost to Georgia, I think the team kind of said, you know what, it's in our hands.
We're gonna run the ball.
Yeah, we're gonna run the ball, and again, it's smash mouth football. But we go back to that wasn't my issue. Is what's going on with the selection committee in this 12 team? They happened last year with Florida State. Now it's happening again this year. Why would people do that? You're trying to get the best 12 teams in the country to play, and now you put somebody out.
Freddie, who do you think should be on there? Who do you think shouldn't be on there? Let's talk about that. Who you think shouldn't be there?
Well, let me go to I knew I had the bracket here, but they snuffed out Miami, right? Yes or no?
No, they put him in the top 12.
You got to be 12 at the end of the year.
But you put a team that's 9-3, that's got 3 losses just because they're in the power division.
Very passionate.
You talking about Alabama?
Yes.
Freddie, do you
Just because they're in the SEC.
Hold on, Fred. Do you look? Let me go back to last week's game. The A&M and Texas was going to be a defensive struggle, but look who you have to play in the SEC: Georgia, Alabama, Texas, LSU,
Tennessee.
A&M, freaking Mississippi State. I can think a couple of big names. I'm like, dude, it's
Ole Miss.
like, there's no week offs. You don't get a cupcake. There's no cupcakes. Alabama did lose to a top-ranked team. They lost to Vanderbilt, and they lost to somebody else who was in the top 25 at the time. So look at their losses. They lost to, a couple of good teams. I think they lost to Georgia. Or did you see what they did to Georgia? I mean, they were up and they came back. I mean, dude, it is the best conference. It is the best conference. And honestly, the team that you think is a 13th team, they're going to wipe the floor with them. Oregon will wipe the floor with them, honestly. So I love football. I guarantee you, Alabama, if they get the 12 seed against Oregon, they win, it'll be a hell of a better game than if Arizona State's in it.
Well, of course, you got the Big 12 champion. And of course, Colorado didn't make to the Big 12 championship. That was another thing too. I don't think they can get an at-large bid, right?
I don't know.
Am I right or no? No, they can't.
They lost to Kansas.
They lost to Kansas. Yeah,
that hurt them. If they beat Kansas, they're in.
Yeah.
They're in, but they lost to Kansas, and it's like, hey, they lost 2 games, 2 out of 3 weeks. They lost to Kansas, and I think Kansas State or whatever, and that's what killed them. That's why they make it. I mean, any given Saturday, got to lace them up, dude.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's like anything else. I was trying to find it. I knew I had it somewhere here as far as the bracket.
Have any of you guys seen Miami Hurricanes play football? Man, they're exciting to watch. It's up and down.
Ward. I saw him a week ago.
Hey, those guys can beat anyone because they can put a 50 on you real quick. Like, they don't play defense, but man, they can score.
I'm trying to find the
top 12.
Yeah, well, the rankings and stuff as far as like the top 12, but they got Penn State and Arizona State, the Sun Devils. Yeah. But they haven't even played the Big 12 championship. Penn State hasn't played what is it, the ACC? No, the Pac-10.
Yeah, so who knows what happens? Like, what happens if Oregon loses, or let's say Clemson beats SMU, they get out, then they might sneak in Arizona State. Who knows?
Well, see, the way it looks here, the top 4 teams is gonna be Oregon, Texas at number 2, SMU's at number 3, and then Boise State is the number 4. So you got the 5-12, the 5-12 in Penn State and Arizona. Whoever wins from there plays Boise. The Ohio State, Tennessee, that's intriguing because whoever wins there plays Oregon. Okay. And they're playing in Ohio. They're playing in Columbus. So that's a home game for Ohio State.
Yep.
Right? And then Notre Dame and Alabama. They play they play whoever wins from there plays SMU, and then for the third time in as many Texas can see Georgia again.
I know that's
in
crazy.
that Georgia in Indiana matchup, the 7-10 matchup. Like, how is that even relevant to bring up in a college format like this, where you're putting again?
Okay, for the next question, is Texas one of the best top 12 teams left? Texas,
Of course,
is Georgia one of the top 12?
yeah.
Okay, that's what you want. All you want is, as a football fan, you want to see him play. And I'm glad there's 12 teams. Look, it's always going to be hard. It was 4, and then all of a sudden, someone didn't get to. They should have got there, but you got 12 teams, man. And look, they still got to play till this week. Someone's going to get dropped out. If they get beat by 2 or 3 touchdowns, they're going to get kicked out, and someone's going to move up.
So again, it happened last year. Florida State got by Alabama, and yeah, there was 4.
Yeah.
There was 4 teams last year, and they got snubbed.
Now there's 12.
This year, Miami got snubbed, and I don't know who else got snubbed. So I mean, we still have the ACC championship. We got the Big Ten. We got the Pac-10, the Pac-10, the Big 12, the ACC championship. So we still have championship weekend this coming weekend. What's your take, Paul, on the 12-team playoffs?
I mean, I think it's good for college football. Obviously, it's more of a moneymaker for the schools. It's great. It's great for the fans.
More NIL money.
And then,
You what?
and then once we finish that topic, and then we'll go to the pick 6. I can see Chancey staring at me over there, like, "Hey,
You're more NIL money. That's right.
More NIL money.
Yeah.
So
and
we can go all night." All right.
So sorry, Paul. It's because I said when you said more money, it's like more NIL money.
More NIL money. Uh-oh.
Am I right or am I wrong, Paul?
I mean, you're right. And what is that going to do for certain teams? I mean, it's going to just make the rich richer.
Yeah.
You know, so I think some teams are going to struggle. People like Texas, though, we're going to benefit and we're going to keep on growing. The surprising team is SMU. I don't know how familiar you are, but there's a lot of people throwing a lot of money at SMU right now.
That's what I heard.
They're keeping a lot of these Texas kids, and they're offering them some big time, money.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Back in the day, back in the Pony Express, the money that was being thrown around, that money's coming back.
That was big money. That's good.
Now it's legal. It wasn't legal back then. That's why they had the death penalty.
Yeah.
That's why they had the death penalty.
No.
No, it was. I mean, that's what happened. They got caught and they were put on probation. They were not bowl eligible for like 20 something years or something like that. Like they got the death penalty because they got caught. Yes or no, Paul? Coach?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was in the 80s. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, they got caught. They got slapped on the wrist, and people still didn't care, and they still did it. And then all it took was one player to turn them in. One disgruntled player.
It was at Lyman. It was at Lyman that title.
Correct.
I remember that.
Correct.
Lyman that title tilled. Hey, well, he paid him that. Give me that, and I'll come over here. Okay, and they paid him. Okay, I'll go over here instead of going to Texas. Because look, Texas. We look at Texas. You got Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. Dallas and Houston are one of the biggest where they're at. And instead of them going to Oklahoma or going to UT, they're staying to play at SMU because they're getting some of that money legally, not illegally. Now they can get some of that money. So it's going to be good for SMU and even TCU for that matter.
All right, so now we're talking SMU. Clemson, number 17 Clemson. It's a night game, Saturday against SMU. Who do you got, Coach?
Oh my God. Those are two 2021 quarterback that won state,
Oh yeah,
on both teams. I'm gonna go with SMU.
SMU.
Okay.
Paul, what do you got? SMU, Clemson.
I'm going with the state champion from Sox, SMU.
What do you got, Grant? SMU or Clemson? As we got the next 3 of the Hyundai of the Real Pick 6.
I'm gonna take the ponies, man. Give me SMU all day long.
SMU. So I guess I'm taking SMU too. I'm not gonna go Clemson.
Everybody's going with SMU?
Yeah.
No one's going with Clemson?
No. Unless you're gonna go with Clemson.
Even though Clemson has a back, is that they're playing in South Carolina, they're playing North Carolina. It's gonna be they're gonna have more Clemson fans, but I really
They
want
they have a neutral site for this one, right? For the
yeah, but North Carolina,
ACC championship.
yeah, but Clemson is South Carolina, so it's only like one state. They're like maybe 300 miles away. So that's
You know, you know what? As much as I like to go for the ones who aren't going to be likely to win, I'm going to have to go with SMU on that one. I think that's a for sure one.
And another night game on Saturday. Number 3 Penn State against number 1 Oregon. That's for the Pac-10, ain't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Paul's got SMU too, right?
yeah,
SMU?
yeah, that's
So everybody's
got SMU.
Oh, okay.
So Oregon, Penn State, coach.
I'll take Oregon.
Oregon. I'm taking Penn State.
Yo,
Paul, what do you got?
I'm going with FEBU.
FEBU.
You know what that is?
I don't, coach.
That's Oregon. That's Oregon. F everybody but us.
So he's going to Oregon.
So we got Grant going. Grant's going to Oregon, right?
No, I don't know. Grant, what do you got?
Look, man, I'm taking the Ducks. That coach, look, the line's only 3 points. It should be a close game, but that guy Franklin never wins a big game. He
The
always
line is
finds
3
a way
points, coach.
to lose. He always finds a way to lose. So I got to keep with the trend. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if Penn State wins. But I'm gonna take the Ducks. I'm riding with Paul. I take the Ducks.
I'm taking.
All right. So Coach has the Ducks.
Dome, no rain, no snow. No rain, no snow. To the dome.
Freddie, you got Penn State.
Penn State, yeah.
Coach has the Ducks. Beate has the Ducks. Grant has the Ducks. I'm gonna go Penn State.
So me and you go Penn State. And then the last game of the Hyundai of Del Rio Pick 6. Make sure you guys go visit Hyundai of Del Rio in Del Rio, Texas. Call Grant. What's the number to call, Grant?
830-422-3900. 3900.
Hey, and you got a sale right now as far as if they go out there, they get a chance to win either a gift card or a car or something like that, right?
Gift cards, you name it. We're just giving.
Yeah.
We're giving back to the community this month.
There you go. So go and
Christmas.
go and get yourself a Hyundai. What's the address in for the dealership?
1508 Veterans Boulevard in Del Rio, right down the main street.
There you
right
go.
across from IBC and Nexus Stripes.
There you go.
Yeah,
so
right.
the last game, number 5 Georgia against number 2 Texas. That's for the SEC championship.
Yeah,
Horns
I
up.
think we're gonna write horns for Texas for Coach Beate.
Coach,
I love the horns.
Texas. I think everybody's picking Texas except for Grant. I think Grant's gonna go off the grid right now. He's probably gonna go Georgia.
It's hard for me. Georgia's playing in their backyard. It's in Atlanta.
I know they're playing in Athens, but
Yeah.
they're playing in this. What is it? Super?
But it's
No.
like maybe like 100 miles from Athens to there. It's a home game for them. But here's what I do. I make my picks based off what I think is happening. Texas got their butts destroyed by Georgia. Wasn't even close. They got embarrassed, and Texas is a favorite. So somebody knows something. My heart wants to take Georgia, but I'm gonna go with the Vegas, and I'm gonna take Texas because Texas should not be favored to Georgia. So someone knows something. So I'm gonna take the experts in Texas.
There you go.
Freddie, what do you got?
I got Texas.
You got Texas?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go.
I'm a UT guy.
I like UT.
My sister graduated from UT. I got Coach Olivas' nephew's going to UT. Your daughter? No,
she goes to Baylor.
she goes to yeah.
Everybody loves UT. I'm gonna go Georgia again. Like Grant said. Tech they have an awesome advantage, especially at home. So especially with all the other teams that they play, I'm gonna go with Georgia.
There you go.
So
that's
there'll be some burnt orange in the stadium. There's gonna be a lot of them. There'll be a lot of burnt orange.
And I'm wearing orange too. So I mean,
There will be.
guys. Again, we're at 1296 Del Rio Boulevard here in Eagle Pass. We're at Chance and Lee's Pizzeria. They're getting this place swept up. Thursday night football. I believe there was. Oh man, what was the score?
24-21.
24-21.
24-21. Yeah.
24-21.
Green Bay, right?
Detroit.
Oh, no, Detroit.
Detroit.
It's 28-24 now. Packers on top.
Oh, got you. So
Packers just scored.
you can call them up 830-776-7656. They close at 11 o'clock. Make sure it's the home of the Chicago dog. We have not gotten a Chicago
we didn't get a
dog
Chicago dog today.
today. Normally we get one like really quick as soon as.
Chances like not today.
Oh, you know what?
You guys, that's part of your rent.
Huh? No,
Yeah,
it's fine. Anyways.
Well, guys, that's the show. I mean, if anybody has any comment after before we take off and wrap up, I know it's getting kind of late.
Real quick, just the Hyatt Place.
Oh, that's right.
Grand opening of the Hyatt Place. Book now with your special opening rate. They open on December 11th, so that one's right off of the address.
It's on Veterans, right? Right off of Veterans.
Yeah, it's
off Main Street.
It's off of Main Street. It's at 1060 Patsy Winn Boulevard.
Oh, right. Yeah, right before you get to the sports complex.
Before you get to the sports complex. So there is a promo code, and that QR code, you can actually scan it. So if they scan it, they get promotional rates. Right now, this week, they are $144 per night plus tax. They open up on the 11th. It's the closest hotel to the sports complex, the Patsy Winn Sports Complex. So a lot of teams that are coming down to play in tournaments or anything like that, that's the place to go. Valeria, our good friend there, send us some information. And again, the internet, they also have a complimentary full breakfast.
Ooh.
Yeah, like
it's not those little continental ones.
No, it's not a continental. It's breakfast. It's a buffet style, and it's included with all the the reservation.
Wow! Nice. And please, guys, I don't want to hear that. Oh, okay, so that's how much? Guys, Hyatt is a really great hotel. There was actually, I'm from a golfer town in California, and Hyatt Grand Champions was like the place to go for all these golfers like Tiger Woods and stuff like that. So Hyatt is a really great company. You guys want to enjoy some luxury hotel living? The Hyatt Place. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, the actual that photo that we have on our thing, it's actually the QR code. It goes directly to the reservation.
Oh,
so they can reserve through that QR code. They can reserve their hotel stay at Hyatt Place here in Eagle Pass. That's at 1060 Patsy Winn Boulevard. So that's it's a new one that they just built. Grand opening is December 11th.
Ooh, that's right before my birthday.
Yeah, book now with a special opening rate. Again, those QR codes are on our screen right now. And don't forget, guys, if you want to go watch concerts, sporting events, I suggest you go to besttickets.com, promo code 24. That's another one.
Overtime 24. Yes.
Yeah.
No, did we? Or actually, there was actually another promo code too, but we're going to use.
No, that's the one. That's the one that we have. That's the one that they gave us.
Yeah. Okay. Besttickets.com, guys. You're looking forward to the next events coming up. They have awesome discounts when you give out the promo code.
Yeah.
Besttickets.com. Check them out.
No convenience fees.
Oh yeah, no convenience.
No,
fees. Like Ticketmaster.
Yeah, like
Sorry, guys.
I know next week's show. We're gonna get into, of course, the winter meetings coming up with the MLB. Of course, what the Dodgers are doing right now.
Oh, the Dodgers! Love the Dodgers. Chicago Dogs.
And what is going on with Juan Soto and his free agency? There's a lot of free agents out there. See who is going where. Of course, Houston has a big name free agent that's still on the fence if he's going to retire, not retire. He's going to extend. What's going on? We got a lot to talk about. Of course, we got basketball, local basketball. Kudos to the Eagle Pass Eagles. I believe the last time that I heard, they were like 11-1 overall, or 8-1, somewhere in there. They have a great squad. We gotta get those guys. David Chisholm, of course, Danny Flores on the girls' side, Mr. Compian, Coach Compian from CC Winn over on the, I believe, the girls' side, and a Coach Biddle over on the boys' side. We got to get those guys in here talking basketball on the local level. Again, great show tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. Coach Olivas, thank you again. Congratulations on a great season, a great season one for you. And again, there's nothing but prosperous feelings moving forward with the type of staff that you have and your leadership, Coach?
Thank you. It's not the season that we wanted, but it's a good stepping stone, I guess. And we're starting off on a good foot. Our off season's off and going, and we're excited.
And of course, congratulations to Paul Beatti.
And best of luck.
And best of luck this weekend. When do you guys leave?
We're actually, it's funny. We're leaving Saturday morning to Waco, but if we win, we play up at more than likely SMU the following Sunday or Saturday, and we're getting the hotel when we play in Dallas.
There you go.
So I mean, we got a hotel last week when we played up at the Star. We're not getting a hotel when we travel to Baylor, but we're getting a hotel the following week, and we'll get a hotel if we get lucky to make it to state. So
there you go.
Best of luck.
Good luck. Best of luck to all you guys. Well, if you guys
appreciate it.
Grant, you got anything else to? I know you always have something to close.
Real quick to Roger, man. I mean, it's they have the same people, the same program, but Roger becomes the head coach, Ricky becomes the DC. A lot of different changes, and it's like it's hard when even at CC Winn, it's hard when you got to make changes. You know what I mean? So I mean, Roger runs. They've been running a great program. So hopefully, Roger will get to Thanksgiving next year with your guys in the playoffs. But hey, Paul, a great job what you're doing, man. Good luck this week. And if you put up a 50 burger, you're almost impossible not to not win. So focus on 50. Man. I know it's hard to get 50, but if you put up 50, you should win. So good luck this week, man. We're looking forward to you guys advancing them next week.
I appreciate you, man. You know what, Freddie, I don't know if you host this only on Thursdays, but I already told Coach Mathis our games are 3:00. If we make the state, we win. I'm hitting the road straight to Eagle Pass right after that win. I ain't going back to the school. I love you all. I told him, I said, but I'll see you after the holidays. I'm going straight home and taking about 3 days of doing nothing. So if you host a show that Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll be in town.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we can always bring the your old crew back from the 90s and get them all in here.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, if anybody doesn't have anything else, guys, that was
Webster Street.
Yeah, Webster Street.
Great show, guys. Thank you guys so much.
We gotta go call Carlos Patiño too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Grant needs to.
Hey, what was that? Caluche. I'm sorry, Caluche.
Right on.
I tell you,
we reached an hour and 30, guys. That was such a great show. Again, join us next week. We'll let you know the date and times for the next show. We want to be here more often. Here with Freddie talking sports on the Overtime Show with all these sports enthusiasts that we love so much here in town. Minus Poncho, he's not here today. Otherwise, it probably would have gone about 2 hours. But we try to keep it at about an hour and 30. Of course, we don't want to keep Coach here too long or everybody else. I'm sure y'all are tired.
Real quick, just want to send our condolences to Poncho and his family.
Yes,
for losing
absolutely
his father. Also, another great human being, a great person, a great leader in our community, Mr. Villapando, Rudy Villapando, who was a councilman for the Eagle Pass, for the city of Eagle Pass. He also passed away. I think his funeral services start tomorrow, Friday, from 10 to 6. To Miss Villapando and the whole family, our condolences from us here at Now You Know Sports and of course All American Media. Again, great leaders, gentlemen that believed in the community, in our community, and again for Poncho, again, our heartfelt condolences to him losing his father. Guys, it's hard. I lost my mother 3 years ago, and it still aches. So
absolutely, and when you lose family members, one of the best things to think about is that they're always in our hearts, our memories. And we have all of that to remember them by, and they'll always be with us in spirit. So, on that note, you got anything else? For
Ruben,
I'm going to top that.
Camarillo, for Mr. Coach Roger Olivas, I'm Freddie Reyes. And as I always say, keep talking sports.
Absolutely. And don't forget, guys, later on next week, we have a podcast going on with Maverick Barber School with Miss Yessi Guerrero. And, of course, the newest addition to Now You Know team and All-American Media, Miss Veronica Peña. So stay tuned next week. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the show. You guys rock. For Paul, for Coach, for Freddie, for Grant. Guys, thank you for joining us. And I forgot to play that little song.
No chance in hell.
Take it easy, guys. Paul, thank you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.